Hey there, movie lovers. Welcome back to Rocky Watches Movies. Today we're turning up the heat with The Towering Inferno from 1974. This star-studded epic brought together Hollywood heavyweights like Steve McQueen and Paul Newman and delivered plenty of high-rise thrills. But while the flames raged on screen, there was just as many fireworks happening behind the scenes. So we're uncovering the blazing secrets that made this film a landmark in disaster cinema. So grab your hose and let's extinguish 20 things you never knew about The Towering Inferno. The film was based on two remarkably similar novels, The Tower from 1973 and The Glass Inferno from 1974. In The Tower, the story revolves around the grand opening of the 125-story World Tower in Lower Manhattan. Electrical shortcuts and a bomb set by a disgruntled worker spark a fire, trapping guests on the top floor. The Glass Inferno features the 66-story National Curtain Wall building in an unnamed American city, and shoddy construction and unhappy workers lead to a deadly fire. The Towering Inferno is one of the Irwin Allen-produced disaster epics that helped establish the modern blockbuster, with its grand scale, high stakes, and tightly constructed narrative. Without it, we wouldn't have later films such as Die Hard. After watching The Towering Inferno, novelist Roderick Thorpe had a dream that very night about a man being pursued through a skyscraper by armed attackers. This became the inspiration for his 1979 novel Nothing Lasts Forever, which was ultimately adapted into the film Die Hard in 1988. The design of the tower, particularly its base, was modelled on the Hyatt Regency San Francisco, which had only just opened in 1973. Located just a few blocks up Market Street, the hotel was used as a filming location for the Glass Tower's lobby. Its distinctive pill-shaped elevators appear prominently in the film, including a climactic rescue scene near the end. Both Steve McQueen and Paul Newman insisted on receiving top billing. To resolve this, McQueen was billed on the left, while Newman appeared on the right, but slightly higher. This clever arrangement meant that depending on whether you read left to right or top to bottom, each actor appeared first. Paul Newman's only son, Scott, was an actor and stuntman who appeared alongside his father only once, in The Towering Inferno, where he played a young firefighter with a fear of heights. Scott found it difficult to step out of his father's shadow and battled with alcohol and drug addiction. After a motorcycle accident in 1978 left him reliant on painkillers, Scott tragically died from an overdose in November of that year. In a groundbreaking production technique for its time, The Towering Inferno employed 4 separate camera crews simultaneously during certain scenes. Each crew was assigned a specialized role to capture distinct elements of the complex sequences. One focused on character interactions and close-ups, another on dynamic action shots, a third dedicated to the intricate special effects, and a fourth capturing dramatic aerial views. This innovative approach allowed the filmmakers to efficiently and effectively portray the chaos and scale of the disaster, ensuring every visual detail was covered from multiple angles. By coordinating these crews, the film achieved a level of visual intensity and realism that helped set new standards for the disaster genre and large-scale cinematic productions. The largest set built for the film was the Promenade Room, where the party on the 135th floor takes place. Spanning an impressive 11,000 square feet and standing 25 feet tall, it was enclosed by a 340-foot-long cloth painted to resemble the San Francisco skyline. The set was raised about 10 feet off the ground to allow water from the climactic scene to drain away, and to enhance the sense of height in shots of people being forced through the windows. The construction of this set cost $300,000. The elaborate Blinken Lights computer controlling the glass tower is an IBM AN/FSQ-7 Combat Direction Central, built in 1954 to defend the US against Soviet bomber attacks. Around a dozen of these massive machines were installed across the country. The system became obsolete and components from decommissioned units were sold for scrap, but soon snapped up by film and television productions seeking futuristic-looking computers, despite their 1950s origins. The parts used in this film had previously appeared in The Time Tunnel from 1966 and even went on to appear in Independence Day from 1996, among many other productions. According to actor and stuntman Ernie F. Orsatti, Faye Dunaway was frequently late to set or failed to show up altogether. This made filming certain scenes impossible and left other actors, including William Holden and Jennifer Jones, visibly frustrated. Reportedly, Holden even shoved Dunaway against a wall and threatened her one day. Following this, she maintained a perfect attendance record for the next month. Despite the reported on-set tensions between Holden and Dunaway, the two would reunite 2 years later in the film Network from 1976. There are some conflicting reports online about whether the leading men, Steve McQueen and Paul Newman, actually got along on set. Some say they got along quite well, and others not so. The supposed feud between the two was reportedly sparked several years earlier by McQueen, who was known for his fierce competitiveness. Newman had risen to A-list stardom well before McQueen and was 5 years his senior, leading McQueen to feel he was always playing catch-up in his career. The producers eventually decided to cast Newman not only because he was a major box office draw, but also in the hopes that his presence would push McQueen to deliver a stronger performance and discourage any diva behaviour by reminding him it wasn't just his movie. In the event, though, both male leads, despite finding the story somewhat derivative, conducted themselves with utmost professionalism throughout the shoot. Warner Brothers acquired the rights to The Tower, while 20th Century Fox secured The Glass Inferno, resulting in two remarkably similar films heading into production. Irwin Allen persuaded the studios to collaborate on a single project, agreeing to split the revenues, domestic proceedings going to Fox and international earnings to Warner Brothers. The parallel novels were then merged into a single cohesive story by screenwriter Sterling Siliphant, who had also penned scripts for In the Heat of the Night and The Poseidon Adventure. Tie-in editions of both books were subsequently released with film-specific branding. The Towering Inferno, along with its Allen-produced predecessor The Poseidon Adventure, and later films such as Jaws and Star Wars, helped shape the modern idea of the blockbuster. This was particularly evident in their approach to publicity, merchandising, and the way their productions were framed as part of the film's appeal. The Towering Inferno was marketed by showcasing the story behind its making, especially the techniques used to create its special effects, including detailed documentation of the model building process for the film's two principal towers. The Towering Inferno ironically became part of a real-life fire story when it was screening at the El Rey Theatre in California on August 6, 1975, during a devastating blaze that gutted the venue. Also during filming, a genuine fire broke out on one of the sets, and Steve McQueen found himself lending a hand to the real firefighters trying to extinguish it. Apparently, one of the firefighters said, "My wife is not going to believe this," to which McQueen wittily responded, "Neither is mine." Singer Maureen McGovern performed the Oscar-winning The Morning After for 1972's The Poseidon Adventure, also produced by Irwin Allen. Keen to continue the success, he featured McGovern again, with We May Never Love Like This Again, which also won the Academy Award for Best Original Song. McGovern makes a brief on-screen appearance in the film as a singer. The film features an instrumental version of the song The Morning After, playing softly in the background during certain scenes. Fred Astaire, renowned for his countless musical performances on stage and screen over the decades, received his first and only Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor for his role as the charming conman Harley Claiborne, but he ultimately lost to Robert De Niro, who won for The Godfather Part 2. The Towering Inferno garnered 8 Oscar nominations in total, winning 3: Best Cinematography, Best Editing, and Best Original Song. It was also nominated for Best Picture, Best Musical Score, Best Sound, and Best Art Direction/Set Decoration. Initially, Irwin Allen was reluctant to use music during the first 5 minutes of the helicopter sequence. However, John Williams assured him he could compose 5 minutes of music for the opening. Once Allen heard Williams's composition, he was convinced and gave his approval. As with other major blockbusters, the Towering Inferno became the subject of light-hearted parody in popular satire magazines. Notable examples include the 6-page spoof, The Towering Inferno, in Cracked issue 126, featuring original artwork by John Severin, and the 8-page The Towering Sterno in Mad number 177, written by Dick DeBartolo and illustrations by Mort Drucker. This film, along with Earthquake from 1974, another all-star disaster movie, was released less than a month apart in 1974. Some cinemas even screened both films back-to-back as part of a double feature, cleverly promoted as the Shake and Bake double feature. And there you have it, folks. You now know a little bit more about the Towering Inferno. If you enjoyed the video, which I presume you did as you got this far, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos coming to Rocky Watches Movies. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.